The very first thing I want to do then is I just wrote out something and we're going to go over this first. As soon as we finish this, we're going to go over to talk to Janki. And this one I will share with you, but first I'm going to be going over it just to get you more ideas of where to get business from faster. And because at the end of the day, I want you to do more business. I want you to get more business. I want you to get busy. And I know some areas are a lot tougher right now. And so I want you to start paying attention to all of the different possibilities because depending on your market, some things may be working and some things that were working just a little bit ago will not be working. But let me tell you, that doesn't reflect as much on you. I need you to also take full responsibility of things that you are doing, the actions that you're normally doing. But I also want you to know that the things that were working are not anymore. And that's normal. So the very first thing I want you to take a look at is your biggest opportunity are the 5 places that most people are going to right now. And that's Google. You can write these down, everyone. Google, and you've got a lot of choices on Google because Google has 8, right? So Google, YouTube's one of them. You've got Google Business Profile. You've got to set that up. You've got to, even if you're brand new, you've got to start uploading daily to it. Set up that Google Business Profile. That's 2 on Google. 3, SEO is still alive. I mean, look at what Trenton's going to go over the things that you should be doing so that you could show up better because AI is pulling from everything that's out there. And I want you to look at everything that's out there. So right now, everyone here, I want you to do one thing. And then number 2, number 1, I want you to Google yourself right now. Type your name in and see what pops up. And if you've got a more common name, I'm sorry, you're going to have other people pop up in front of you. But type your name in. And if you've got that common name, put real estate. And this way it's less common. And I want you to start paying attention to where you're popping up. What is Google pulling from? Are you on Instagram at the top? Are you on LinkedIn? I want to know when you did this right now, because this is where people are going to find you, to find more information about you. What was the first one that popped up? Interact with me. I need to know what was the first place you showed up when you typed in your name. Was it Zillow, Realtor.com, LinkedIn, Instagram? Where? I need to know. Go. Noel, LinkedIn. I love that. Yes, LinkedIn will typically be on towards the top. So very good. Eric, Zillow. Very nice. Jennifer, my website. Congratulations, Jennifer. Love that. Susan, too. Very good. Emily, wow, my past history comes up. Past mortgage company, AI overview. It says, I like that at the very top. Google has a little Gemini excerpt. Good. Realtor.com, my website. Coldwell Banker, Zillow, my company, my website, company. All right, good. Keep it coming. What you should be looking for is you should be looking to have your website at the top and then socials. That's what it should look like. You shouldn't have Realtor.com or Zillow be the first ones at the top because, I mean, let's face it, they're just selling leads back to us because the other opportunity on Google is AdWords. You can pay. And if I take you through this process, which we've done before, which is, hey, wait a second. What happens now? I found myself. What happens if I type in homes for sale? And if you want to do this too, this will be a fun one. Type in homes for sale and then type in the city you're in. Homes for sale in, what did we have? Like Tulsa, Oklahoma. Homes for sale in Seattle. Homes for sale in Denver. Homes for sale in Oceanside, California. Homes for sale in South Bay. Phoenix. Type that in and then see which one are the top 3 sponsors. Type that in and I'll do it live with you so you can see what Los Angeles has for you. I'm going to go to my screen because this all has to do with where we're going as an industry. Homes for sale in Los Angeles. Let's go. You know what? I like Riverside. Riverside. Let's go Riverside. It's kind of far from me, but I'm going to go Riverside. Check it out. They are paying Google a lot of money to show up here. Realtor.com and Zillow. And what do? They sell them right back to us, right? And then our other competitor, KB Homes, is right up there. And our other competitor, who just got bought by Rocket, is right there as well. So you got four, right? And in this search, there weren't any real estate agents on here. And sometimes there are, and it's important to take note. But that's number 4, paying for AdWords. When you typed in homes for sale in your city, those are your competitors. So start thinking along those routes. Number 5 is Gemini. Gemini is very important as well, which, Trenton, are we going to go over Gemini so you can show a little bit, or is that just going to be ChatGPT? You tell me.
I mean, we can do that, but I was just going to focus on ChatGPT because I just like the output better.
Okay. All right. We'll just go over, maybe I'll touch lightly on Gemini so you guys can see it. That would be number 5, right? And then what about Google reviews? Like, listen, I'll give you a story, but first, you shouldn't be sending people to Zillow reviews first, or Realtor.com or Facebook. It should really be Google. Because when you go and send them to Google reviews, what happens is the way people find you is real estate agent in and then the city. And when you ask for reviews, people are like, oh, Joe or Connie helped me out and she was amazing at, right, this, and I'd definitely hire her again. And then people go search. I'll tell you, 5-6 days ago, I get a call directly from Google reviews, and it's this guy who he says, Tristan, first of all, I didn't even pick up the call. I thought it was spam, so I didn't pick it up. Left me a voicemail, checked it, called him back. It's from Google. He found us on Google, talked to him. He's, Tristan, listen, I found you on Google. You're everywhere. This is exact words. You're everywhere on Google, and I have a problem. And then he told me his problem, his mother and the situation. And listen, the trust, the instant trust you have from Google reviews and obviously being everywhere else is so, it brings down so many barriers. And I'm going there because we're going to talk about a few other things. But first, let's continue on these Google reviews. Next, local service, well, not local service ads, Google Analytics. Google Analytics, when you tie, all of you who said your website pops up first or you have a website, is it tied to Google Analytics? So you know where people are coming from, how people are finding you, how to tweak keywords. And then lastly, which some of you haven't heard, is Google Search Console. You could just type that up. We won't go into it. Just type in Google Search Console or put it in your notes to take a look at later. Those are the opportunities you have in the top 5 most visited websites in the world. You got Google, a whole bunch, number 1. YouTube's still number 2, but I mean, they're part of Google. Number 3 is Facebook, massive opportunity there. Instagram. And then the 5th one, which we're all going to have some fun right now, is ChatGPT. 5th is ChatGPT. I'll tell you a story that happened to me 3 weeks ago, just so you can understand how people are now searching, right? ChatGPT is the 5th most visited website in the world. How do you think that changes the dynamic of how people find us and work with us? Eventually, it's going to be number 1 or close to it. So now start thinking, how do you show up more on it? Because what happened to me, I had my son go to a Dungeons and Dragons match. He plays Dungeons and Dragons. And it was at a park, not too far from me. And he had 12 friends. By the way, that's a big group. You don't play Dungeons and Dragons with 12 people. Okay, it's just too much. Go to the park, 12 kids. He's 13, 14. And We get there, and some parents are there. They're going to leave the kids. I'm apparently a chaperone, and I didn't know. So I'm sitting there, and I'm the one waiting for everybody while they play. Well, this lady comes by and she says, "Hey, I'm going to drop off my daughter here. I didn't know who you were. I know Anson, but it felt a little weird since this was all like an impromptu thing. So I went to ChatGPT and I typed your name in." I was like, that was the first time that's ever happened to me. And I was like, okay. She goes, "And you're famous." I'm like, I don't know about famous, lady, but what happens? Now, this is the other thing I want you to do. Go to ChatGPT, type your name. Who is Julian Hutter? Connie, is it Connie Pittard or Pittard? Completely messed that up, right? Hector Aguilar, Riverside. What pops up? What is AI saying about you? And where is it pulling it from? Because it's just SEO. Your website, probably. Eric, listen, our goal is to all be celebrities local. Because this lady, again, the same thing that happened with Google 5 days ago when I get this call, the same thing happened with this lady, which is like instant trust, which is crazy, right? And social media works the same way. People repeatedly see you, but they don't use social as much to search as they do ChatGPT and Google. So now you have to start thinking, what are my opportunities here? Because the world shifted a little bit. You need to show up where people are. That's the key. That's the number one thing. You need to show up where people are. Where are they? And you need to show up routinely where they are. This isn't just like every once in a while. The world shifted around you. Yesterday in our coaching call, by the way, if any of you are in our coaching, please go watch the replay of that. Because I went through ChatGPT, I started simple beginner, and then I went to advanced, and I showed you how agent mode works and how agent mode now can go into my MLS and pull data and then give me reports. Listen, we've got to start working with AI a lot more, and we can't stop creating content. Because if you continue to search where it's pulling information from you, whether it's AI or Google, part of that is social media. How are you showing up on social media? How? And I'm going to do this together, and then we'll get into the second part of this, and then I'll bring in Janki. I'm going to just go into ChatGPT, but I'm not going to steal your thunder, Trenton. I'm just going to type in my name, okay? Just so we have a little bit of fun. Hey, Tristan, ready to dive in? Yes, I'm running it on O3, and this is Pro. I'm just going to type in, who is this dude? Which is my name, right? Who is this dude? It's thinking. It may take a little while. O3 typically takes a little bit longer than 4.0. But the cool thing is you can see that it's pulling from different places. One of those is LinkedIn. Look at that, right? It's pulling from my main website. And it looks like it's just searching the internet as well, and generally, and other sources right here, other articles. Now it's going through, itemizing it, right? Which is good because this is what that lady did. It's pulling from another prominent website, Lab Code Agents, by the way. Check that out. Check that out. And now it's helping summarize it, which is great. And it's going through 48 seconds. That's how long it took. Let's see where it pulled from. Where did it decide to pull from? Because this is all important. It pulled from my main website, my personal brand website. Again, same spot there. Where did it pull? It pulled from Lab Code Agents. It pulled from EXP when I was the CMO. Pulled from Lab Code Agents. Another one from EXP. Great. These are all great sources for me. My main website. And this one pulled from EXP and Lab Code Agents. All right. So 3 different sources Now, when I go and type in on Google, this is what you have to do because this is how people are searching for you. Look at the main ones, my website, Zillow, YouTube, Instagram, and then a whole bunch of YouTube videos, more Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, lots of pictures, and we could just keep going. This is how you have to start thinking. How are people searching for me? And how am I showing up? Lynn, I'm using O3. So this is number one. And then you have to decide, well, based on how I'm showing up online, how can I show up better? Choose your weapon. Is it going to be Google that you're going to dive into? Is it going to be YouTube? And if you're already on YouTube, is it going to be Facebook? If you're already on Facebook, how's it going to be on Instagram? And you got to go down the line because this is the world that we're in. We're in a world of attraction. All of us here, we've got to start thinking, wow, we are our own brand. The world that we're in has now shifted from the consumer trusting traditional media to trusting social media, to trusting individual people, influencers, talking about certain topics, being more professional about the more niched, and then bringing people in through that route. So there's a big chasm happening. You're watching it happen right in front of you. You're watching the split. And I'm going to show you what that means because it's out in the open now. Nobody's hiding it. And you watched what Rocket just did, Rocket Mortgage. I'm just going to show you from their own presentation. I'm going to pop up their investor deck from May 2025. I'm just making sure it's the right one. May 2025. And first quarter earnings call. No. Rocket investor deck. Investor deck is important to understand where they're going because it's a threat to us. That's reality. Here we go. Okay, let's see what we got here, and then I'll go to it. I'm just going to have you search with me so you don't feel lost on my screen. How's that? Let me go. I'm going to Rocket Mortgage. And you see here, they have all the items, presentations, archived events, presentations right here. May investor presentation. This is the deck. I need you to tell me that you can see this in the chat because there are important pieces to this. Give me a yes or a thumbs up. Perfect. Thank you, Ray. And I'm going to send a link to all of you right now because this is how important this is. They're laying out the groundwork for how our world is going to work. We're being split. You're going to have the Zillows of the world. You're going to have the Rockets, and now Redfin, and they just closed on that one 2 weeks ago, officially. And you're going to have all these other companies that are coming up and trying to do the same thing. Now watch, because this tells us where they're heading and how we can beat them. Because one side of this whole thing, let me scroll through it. Let me shift this out. So they understand and they realize home ownership is the cornerstone of the American dream. If you watched their commercial during the Super Bowl, they did an amazing job with that commercial. The American dream. And now you scroll through, home buying is complicated, stressful, and expensive, right? They're already throwing us under the bus. Hey, consumer, real estate agents kind of suck. And here's the process. Here are you, consumer. You're right in the middle. You've got the home search, and then you've got this cost over here on title and closing. Then you've got financing, which is a problem. Then you've got the buyer's fee. And if you're going to sell, you've also got the seller's fee. This is on an average home, you're going to spend $40,000. But don't worry, we're going to cut that in half. And I'm going to come back to this. Don't worry, we're going to cut that in half because, we've got Redfin now and Rocket. We've got the loan side, and Mr. Cooper, we can service it. Now you've got not only Zillow Flex, you've got everything else Zillow does. You've got Redfin and Rocket. You've got ICE Mortgage as well, which is doing the same thing. And then you've got all these companies that are trying to figure this out because look what they've realized. Disruption is still missing in the real estate world because it's a relationship-based business. It's a person-to-person business. How many times have they tried to disrupt, try to remove the agent, and it doesn't work? So now they're working with the agent and they're saying, well, why not work with the agent and just take part of their commission? Right? That's what's happening. And look at the little circle over here because they just kind of lay it out and say, this is what we're going to do. So we provide the loan, we provide the servicing, we provide the home sale, home purchase process. The key to this, because they know that agents suck at this, the key to this is driven by industry best AI powered client experience. That means we're going to show up everywhere that your agent isn't showing up with, because guess what the agent does? I got a buyer. I won't call them because I just paid money to get this buyer. I won't call them. I got an open house lead. I won't call them. I'll wait a few days. And I'll just put them on an automated 33 touch because I don't have anything else. We've got to change the way we think because this separation is going to be even more apparent in the few years. You got Rocket, you got Zillow, who now decided we're going to work with agents, but we need a piece of that commission. And then you're going to have the other side, which is you. You are running a business. You are running a brand. You are showing up where everyone is showing up and going. Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, ChatGPT. You are going to attract through showing up consistently and using AI to help you show up better. Because if you don't, you're just going to have to end up giving more money away to even stay in this business. Because everyone wants a piece of you. Everyone wants a piece of us. Because you saw that chart. This is still, this real estate world that we're in has still largely been undisturbed. And that's what they're coming after. You have such a massive advantage because I'm still a real estate agent. I still have a team. We have a brokerage. And we still practice and do great because we've decided to take those 5 seriously. How are we showing up there? Consistently. And I'm always testing. And I want you to always be testing. This is a long-term play. You're in this for the long run. So if you post videos every week on YouTube and it's been a year, guess what? That's not long enough. And you're not going back and testing. If you just started 3 months ago and you're like, nothing happens, it sucks, it's not long enough. If you decided to test something new out, some tech, some meta ads, like we'll talk to Janki in a couple of minutes. It's always tweaking. It's always seeing what's next. But it's not easy because now we have more competitors. Julian, it's very, very exciting. I love to see this as excitement because I can tell you one thing is going to happen, and then Janki, you can jump in. One thing that we're going to see happen for sure. Pay attention to this one. There will be less agents. There will be less agents. But the exciting part for me Like I want all of you to succeed, obviously. But the exciting part for me is this: less agents, same or more transactions. Who the hell gets the money? I don't want it to go to Zillow, Flex, or Redfin and Rocket. I want it to go to Janki and to me and to you because we're showing up as a brand, a trusted brand repeatedly over time where the consumer is, and we're delivering the right value message to them. It's not, hey, this is a business call, Janki. How are you doing? Do you have 5 minutes? How's your home doing? That's a bunch of crap that everybody else does. It's not how we speak to connect. That's how we speak to sound like everybody else. But I don't know about you. I didn't show up to be average in the real estate industry. I showed up to succeed, to make a living, to grow, to help others, to make dreams come true, not only for me, but those people that I'm helping. That's how I need you to see this, and you need to have this passion. This is either for you and you're all in, even if you're part-time and new, that doesn't matter. So many people started part-time and are amazing agents. This is for you. You just have to realize, got it. I'm not just interested in this. I am fully committed. And this is what commitment looks like, even if it's part-time. I live and breathe this. Who cares about Rocket and Redfin and Zillow? I understand they're there. I play a different game. Janki, by the way, Janki is a really good friend of mine. And we've gotten to know each other really well. I think it was through COVID, which is amazing. It was amazing.
It was.
And her specialty, the reason I have her on today is because she does part of what I'm talking about so well. And the part of it that I love is not only does she connect with people really well, she connects with strangers really well. So she runs Meta ads, so Facebook and Instagram, right? In the top 5, they're number 3 and number 4. She runs ads, so she actually pays Meta, Facebook and Instagram to show up, whether it's through lead ads, where she's showing a listing that she has, or the MLS search, and people come through there. And what we've noticed very recently, so this is, if we go back last year, it's a different story. This is this year. As ChatGPT is taking more search from Google, we noticed something that happened just because we're paying attention. And I don't know that you've heard this anywhere else, so write this down. As ChatGPT grows in the amount of searches it takes from Google, Facebook and Instagram will become a lot more prevalent in providing higher quality leads for you because people haven't stopped looking there. And that was a surprise for us. And so that's why I want to bring in Janki. Janki, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and how you're using Meta.
You know me. You just made an introduction, but
Yeah, but where do you work? Numbers?
I hate to talk about myself, but okay, here we go. Bay Area, California. That's where I'm from. Fremont, the Silicon Valley. I love being here, and I love Meta ads. I've been working with online leads, I think over 8-9 years now, Tristan. It's been a while. First with
You watch them go up and down.
Oh my God, it's been an ebb and flow. You got it. And every time the online leads didn't work and I got like this knockdown, when I called, it was just, Tristan, what do I do? But mainly you have to pay attention to the ad side of it. And I always say this, you have to be in communication with the person running those ads for you, because they also need feedback of what is best, right? We can't just expect them to just run the ads and know your area. Honestly, you got to provide that information to them. So last year was a great year for online leads. This year, off and on. Like I said, everything is off and on, off and on, off and on, right? Like you'll hit a good month and then you got to keep going. Right now we're running meta ads with obviously my good friend and our company Trenton, and I do every 2 weeks I am in touch with him to what's working, what's not working. But we've seen amazing results. I think I started with Trenton, when was it? I think April. And we've already closed 2 transactions since May. I think April or May, something around there. We've already closed 2 transactions. I like to play red light, green light, know my numbers, right? I've spent X amount, but I've tenfolded those numbers, meaning I am in the positive. I'm in the positive. So if I'm making, if I'm, take example, 20,000, I have always doubled that amount. If a commission check is say 10,000, then I've only spent maybe 2,000, doing online leads for the past 2 or 3 months, right? So, okay. And I share these numbers with you guys because I don't have those numbers on top of my head, but always look for the return of investment on anything. And that's something you've also taught me, And
then help me understand, because this is the part where we have people, agents, use any type of, I don't care if it's Zillow, Realtor.com, Google PPC, Facebook, Instagram, it doesn't matter. We always get a mix. People always say, oh, they're amazing. And then other people say, oh, they're not so good, right? So take me through the process, because you have it down to talk to them, or you engage with them, talk to them, do a Zoom presentation with them, and then you can sign through Zoom, and then you show the property. Take me through that, because a lot of people are like, that's impossible. There's no freaking way. And I'm like, Janki does it every day. So take me through this.
And, if I can, whenever that is, I can share my screen with you guys. I can show you exactly in my CRM. We had a lead. So basically what I do is when the lead comes in, I am not just calling them. It's automated email that goes out, Tristan. The welcome email goes out, actually introducing who I am, how long I've been in the business. So I share that information with them. They need to know who you are, right? So that
email
goes out.
Or text as well.
Email only. So email goes out automatically, and then right away they get added to a smart plan, which is one of the plans that, and for me, I write my smart plans out because I know who I am. I know my area. I know my market, right? So I just don't do it automated. I don't add them to an automated system. I actually write that automated system out and then add them. Does that make sense? So it's not like an automated, oh yeah, you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. No, I actually tell them why waiting, why not waiting, why selling, and why buying now. So it's a whole a smart plan that I write out. That's the next one. Why buy now? Right now is a great time for buyers to buy, right? But why? Why should they? They need to know why, right? So that goes out. And once they read that email, it's short and sweet. It's not too long. That goes out immediately. And they are now searching for properties on my website, right? So I could see the opportunity side that they're actually browsing. And so that is my cue to ping them and say, hey, I see that you're looking at 123 Main Street. Tell me what you like about this property. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not asking to connect with them. And then
you're not saying you have an agent. Have you seen any property? Did you sign anything? Are you pre-approved? Okay.
Nothing. I'm not asking them anything. I'm just asking, hey, I see that you noticed this. Tell me what you like about it. I'm asking them what they like about it. And that's how we were talking about this lead that came in July 4th. And now we're going to show them properties this weekend is because of this process.
All right. Now take me through that one. So people understand the process. July 4th, a lead comes through. What was the process with this one specifically?
Okay. So everything went out automated, right? So July 5th, July 6th, all those emails went out, like not too many emails. One was a welcome email. And then automatically was added to a smart plan. So that process already started. But what I did is I did a mass text asking, hey, are you aware of what's going on in the real estate market? And
That
when
was it?
that was it.
Okay. When you mass text, who are you mass texting? Because they were part of the texting that you sent out. Who did you decide to mass text in your database?
All the new leads. All the new leads that come in, that's the first text that goes out once my smart plan is active, right? So remember, welcome letter and then that smart plan, that's already automated. But I went in and I actually manually did my, I said, hey, today, what am I going to send out to my new leads? I want to send something out. So again, this was still in the new leads pipeline. So I sent that text message out. So once I send that text message out, she says, hi, Janki, how are you? I was like, oh, no,
Okay.
I got someone's attention. So that was my cue to say, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Right. And when I started that conversation, I asked her, hey, so she says, tell me about the market. How is the market doing? So I said, oh, I'd love to. When is a good time for us to talk? Do you have time this evening at 2 p.m., this afternoon at 2 p.m.? Exactly. This is what I said, this afternoon at 2 p.m. Or would later in the evening work best for you? She says,
Okay.
well, after work works best for me.
Okay.
And can you call me at 6 p.m.? I said, okay,
Mhm.
now I don't know anything about this person. All I know is that they're looking in Fremont. That's all I know. And so when 6 p.m. rolled around, I called and I got to know them. Again, not talking about asking them questions in regards to are they looking to buy? Are they looking to sell? I didn't ask anything of that sort. I wanted to get to know the person. It's always about building relationships, right, Tristan? So I built my relationships. It's like talking to a stranger. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? Tell me a little bit about how the market is doing was her question. I read your text and I'm curious to know. And I said, well, it is a great, when they start asking that question, that's when you respond back and let them know what the market is about. And then you go into
Okay.
your
Take me
flow of conversation.
take me through the conversation when you met or talked to her. Was it phone? Was it Zoom? What was it?
So it was a phone call. First is always a phone call. And then I go ahead and connect with them because first I want to get to know them. Who are they? Are they serious? I get to know within the conversations, I understand their needs, their wants. What are they looking for? What is their price range? Where do they work? I ask these questions, right? I tell them about myself when they don't ask me, but I tell them, hey, I've been in the business 20 years. I want to know where do you work? Just out of curiosity, where do you work? Let me, just because I want to know the location. Now, remember, we're talking to them, getting to know them. And with the flow of the conversation, we ask questions as such. And so she told me who she was and she told me what position, she started talking and telling me everything. So you just at that point, shut up and listen. And I said, I'd love to go ahead and share. Now I'm going back to the original question, right? I'm wrapping it up with the original question to when she said, how is the market? Tell me a little bit more about that, right? So I said, I'd love to show you some graphics because now I know husband is a software engineer. And what do engineers love? Data, graphics,
Numbers. Yeah.
info, numbers, right? And now I know who she is and he is. And so that's
Wait,
when
does
I
she
started.
like numbers too? Or no?
He is a director at Facebook.
So,
So
but does she like numbers or is she more like touchy-feely?
she's touchy-feely, he's more numbers. So
Okay.
I need to
Okay.
get to the numbers guy. So I did a buy consult and and that's the
Hold
next
on, hold
step.
on. You went too fast for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you talked to her on the phone. This is
Yeah.
the market. Here's some stuff. How did you set up the buyer consultation? How'd you set that up?
So that was my next question. I said, I'd love to share some information with you. I'd love to share with you data and
Mm-hmm.
graphics and kind of give you an insight to how the current market is in Fremont through a Zoom consultation. When are you available? I didn't say, are you available? I said, when are you available for this? Would weekends
Mm-hmm.
work for you better for you and your husband? And she says, I think weekends work better for us.
Okay.
That was it. Right.
And
So
then,
it's
okay, so now
fast.
you set the Zoom. So, as you're listening in, You don't have to do it in Zoom. You could do it in person or at a coffee shop. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
She said it in Zoom. So now,
Mhm.
what happened on the Zoom call? Are you
So on
thinking
this,
in your head that you're going to that you're going to have them sign on this call, or what are you thinking?
ultimately, what I want to do is get to know their needs, get to know their wants. What are they thinking? And once when I share with them the data and the graphics, and once I get to know what they're really looking for, does that really exist? And I know their numbers, that's when I have my buyer agreement on the side ready to go. But if the numbers don't make sense and that property doesn't exist, I'm not going to have them sign it.
Got it.
Okay. But the way I decide on that is immediately listening to them and how they're interacting with me. Are they ready, willing, and able to? Or what are their numbers? Well, her numbers were pretty high, and I know I can find something in that budget, right? You got to understand and teach them budgets. Also, you got to kind of go over that with them. Like I go over the MLS information with them too. I actually do a screen share and say, look, here's what's available. If you're looking for less than $1 million, I don't have much in the nice community. 3-2.
Janki's in the Silicon Valley. Okay, guys. Janki's in the
Yeah.
Silicon. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So if I don't find, go ahead.
I have a question about when you're presenting. You show them the MLS.
I
You
do.
show them data through Altos Research.
I do. It's
Yeah.
NARPR Altos Research. And then I actually tell them that book right there that you see, that right there, that right there.
Yeah,
That
the
buyer
folder.
guide. Yeah,
Mhm.
the buyer guide is what I share with them as well. And I go over it and I say, listen, this is what I'm going to share with you. Now it's a value proposition thing, right? Now that, yeah.
How do you share that with them? Do you show it to them like, hey, page 1, page 2, or do they have a PDF copy of it?
They do get a PDF copy of this, but I
Okay.
actually, and this is designed by my husband. Of course, you know who he is. He's an engineer. So
Yes.
when you design something like this for them, they love to see this. And then I talk about my awards. Like, look, I'm not only a realtor that doesn't know what the market is about. I am very much so in the market. This is who I am. And I talk a little bit about myself too, share that information with them. And that's when the deal is signed, right? That's when they're like, oh, wow, you're doing this and you're doing that. Great. And when you show them this is something tangible you're going to share with them, you're going to give them. They love it, right?
Okay.
I
And
need to
then,
know.
honestly, that piece, everyone, if you don't have a piece like that, go create one. It's easy on Canva. Go have ChatGPT create something for you and then make it pretty and then print it out. You only have to print it out one time for yourself and then have a PDF copy to give out to everybody. But I
Right.
love that you do that because I've watched 2 recordings that you sent me. When you show that, people's
Mhm.
eyes light up. So
Yeah.
that to me is value driven. How do you transition to saying, okay, do you want to work with me? Here's how it
I
works.
don't. I don't. I don't ask those questions. I do
How
my
does it work?
value proposition. So I say, all right, so when you do, I assume the sale. I just say, so now that I've shared the data with you, your numbers make sense, you see the properties, and then I take them into that world of what is available in my budget. Like I'll literally take them into that world to where I show them properties on the MLS. Remember, I said that? So I show
Yeah.
them the properties. They're like, oh, wow, this is really nice. Oh, wow. And then I show them a little bit high price properties that I tell them, like, this is where my value comes in, is I can help negotiate this for you, depending on
Yeah.
the market, right? I know that I can do that because of the days on the market. I know my market. So when
Mhm.
I do that, their eyes pop up. Remember, buyers are always talking about negotiate, like, what can you do for me? Where can
Negotiation.
negotiations, right? So that's another value added proposition for me. For sellers, I just got a great review on Google from one of my sellers. I actually go over the seller guide. We have a seller guide as well. And if they're looking to buy and sell, we have that guide too. So
So
when
do
I
you have
share this,
oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
when I share, depending who it is, I have a trifold with a buyer and seller, which is right here, a seller guide, and then this process right here. So when I
Uh,
share this with them, they're really very impressed with this. And, they actually like this because we have our reviews at the back here too. So when we share
That's
this stuff,
cool.
yeah. So when we share this kind of stuff and tell them this is what you're going to get, this is tangible stuff, they love it. Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah.
What are the steps? What are the processes?
That's so cool. All right, Janki, we could be here all day. I'm going to go to Trenton to go with AI for 10 minutes, but thank you for this. If people have questions for you, how do people get a hold of you? What's the best email?
I'll type it up and they can certainly reach out to me.
Perfect. Thanks, Janki. All right, Trenton, you're up, buddy. Where do we start?
Excellent. Well, I appreciate that. Great conversation so far with you guys. It's been amazing. Well, where we're going to start? Well, we're going to jump into a little bit of AI. If you guys have been in some of my calls before or some of our conversations regarding AI, you know that I like to take more of a creative standpoint on things and actually be able to understand what we're working with. So that goes from just understanding who the buyer is, who the seller is. Janky kind of mentioned, she goes, I know my market. Well, do these buyers and sellers know the market? And do we know how they're truly feeling about the market as well? And so one of the biggest things that I like to do is just break down all the time, who is this persona? And so the main thing that I do with that is just go through ChatGPT and typically do that. And so one of the biggest things that I always start with, and I'm going to give you guys some prompts as well and a couple of downloadable files. And so then you'll be able to kind of see what we work on here. But one of the biggest things that I always end up doing first is I'm going to share my screen really quickly here for you and apologize for my dog that loves to just bark when I talk.
I didn't hear him, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, really? Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, this is the first thing that I like to do is understanding who I'm working with. And so one of the things is that we always share out for you guys is these are the main questions of like Janky mentioned, she understands her market. Do the buyers or sellers, what are they experiencing? What kind of problems are they going through? Why are they feeling this way? So if we go with this, actually help me understand a long time home owner thinking of selling, assuming this to hire real estate and sell their first home, let's say. And so this is going to then break down really into detail as far as just how to then do anything else, with your emails, with any smart plan follow-up, with any blog posts you guys might do, with any social media posts. Because if we don't understand truly how they or who they are, how they're feeling, things like that, well, then we might miss out on a lot of things with them. And so, just simple things of these now become all different kinds of video content that Tristan just mentioned earlier. So he could do a video on how much is my home even worth in today's market. He could do a video on, and not even just a video, a blog post that then, or let's say an idea that then turns into a blog post that then turns into a email campaign. Now we have social media posts. Now we have ads we can run just from each one of these questions. And so then we can even go further and say something like, put together a 30-day plan that involves text, call, social media posts, things like that. And this can revolve around pretty much anything. So whether it's a listing, whether it's, just trying to get a market report out there, things like that, just making sure we understand, how they're feeling about that. Making sure that what we're doing for them is now going to be done for you guys, and how can we make things easier for you guys? And that's where my second transition that we're going to go into here is, and I'm going to pop open this chat right now, because this part is also another one that I always start with, and I already kind of have some of the stuff in here, and this is not the one that I was going to use for you guys. Let's see. I think it was this one. No, I think it was this one. No, it was this one. All right. So like I said, I start off with the typical another prompt here. This is the one I've been using lately. You guys can kind of see it up here. Just explaining, and this is where you guys as an agent would explain who you guys are. You'd say that I've been a 25-year veteran in Malibu. Let's say that I focus on, longtime homeowners. Maybe I focus on 55 plus community, things like that. And then this is the part here that's going to differentiate between AI sounding and elite performing as well. And this is also where you guys could add in more details about how you speak or what your connection is like. Do you typically take them out for coffee, or do you typically have a Zoom call? Just those kind of thought process so the GPT or Gemini or any of them understands who you are. And you can use this across the board as well. But basically, it just kind of comes up with a lot higher quality responses for you as well. And so I'm going to go through a couple of these things, just making sure that we have a fast way for you guys to win your listings and then be able to close them faster. And so in order to eliminate how a lot of you guys might, not you guys specifically, but agents get kind of stuck with things. And that's because they're stuck writing the listing description, stuck designing the flyers, stuck trying to just figure out what to post. And so we're trying to make a lot of this easier for you. And this is exactly like the kind of repeatable system that we coach agents inside group coaching. And so that way they can understand this as well. And so an example here of where we kind of start off with, I kind of started off with an image because I'm creative. And one of the things I like to do is, create the images from GPT because they turn out super well these days. And you might ask, well, how could I create some of these images as well? Mine don't turn out this way. So I've also put together this PDF for you guys as well. And I'll share this with you guys. But basically, it's going to explain which one of these you should be using. One of the things that Tristan kind of mentioned, he was using the 03 Pro or 03, I believe. I like to use the 4.0 because it's very strong with images. One that I, test out a little bit is sometimes it says mini high, again, because it's the images portion of it. I want to make sure that I can create strong images like this. One of the things one of the other AI that I've used a lot as well is Midjourney. And these are kind of this is the same exact prompts, but Midjourney creates these images. You get 4 different images, can vary them. You can upscale them. We can change them up so that they're not exactly like this. If we're adding different colors, stuff like that in there. And this is just one here. Now what we could do is just kind of tell it, change this up so it's more modern and I always struggle with this word, minimalistic, and navy gold. And so while that kind of does that, it'll be able to switch it up. But one of the other things I wanted to kind of go through is, I kind of skipped a step as far as starting with an actual listing here before we started generating some images. But in order to really kind of avoid, let's say 30, 45 minutes just to get those words right, we can then focus on using AI to make it a lot easier for you, whether that be the full listing description, like I said, flyer headline, social captions. It's all done right here for you. You just kind of control the final edits, but the main heavy lifting is really done with AI. And so, like I said, we started with an image here on how to create this. I also have on here how to do a blog post, because a blog post is a really good one as well. Because you don't just want an MLS link all the time, but something that can still tie back to your brand as well, whether it be your website. If you didn't have a website, you still want to be able to send them somewhere. And so you could really create a blog post for your listing if you really wanted to, and then be able to post and direct to there. It's kind of like a custom landing page in a way. But this way you get more marketing assets without actually lifting any extra work there for you. And so back in group coaching, though, we actually go through how to build these simple templates and these workflows. So that way we can kind of batch these posts without taking up a lot of time in your week. So this blog post that I put in here, it broke it down, what that looks like and sounds like. You could definitely put in here some more expansive stuff. One of the things that we do as well is kind of go through, like, this is a blog article and what we tell GPT to do as well. So that way we have more storytelling, or maybe we want to make sure we're more catchy and engaging. Maybe it needs to make sure we're motivating and optimistic, especially if it's a tough market. So this is kind of where we go a little bit further into this in more detail for a prompt. And then the next one that I had in here was just, focusing on that same listing, but now write a coming soon and just listed email. So now I have photos to go with it. I have my blog post. I now have my coming soon and just listed email. So I have 2 different emails I can send out. Now, yes, there is a lot of emojis being used right now. I usually just tell it at the end, stop using emojis or remove the emojis. Just it helps break it down easier in here for them. But that's kind of just why these are in here. I would never actually
Trenton,
repurpose this many though.
let
Yes.
me let me show one thing really quick,
Yeah.
and I'm going to jump off, and then I'm going to leave you in charge to go just a little extra if you want. All right. One other thing that you can do is I uploaded a script into ChatGPT right now to practice doing listing presentations. So I have it all. It was a very long one. All right. This person's named Jordan, and it knows that as soon as I activate it, it's going to do a full on listing presentation. Now, I'm the agent and I'm practicing with the seller. So if I click go, the activation. Hi, Jordan. How are you today? Hey,
Doing well. Thanks for coming by. I'm really looking forward to hearing about your approach to selling my home. So, why don't you start by giving me a quick overview of how you plan to handle the pricing, marketing, and negotiation?
thanks, Jordan. I appreciate you having me over. Before we do that, is it okay to take a look at your home and just walk through it with you to see what condition it's in?
Absolutely. That sounds like a great idea. Let's do a quick walkthrough so you can get a feel for everything, and then we can dive into the details afterward.
Stop. So I did a whole 22-minute session on this to practice with it. This is what you need to start using AI for. You need to start getting better at talking to people because it's going to grade you and say, hey, yeah, you sucked over here, or you did great over there. That's what you have to start doing. Anyway, I touch on that later. We'll send that over to you. But if you're in coaching, we'll show you how to do that. Trenton, you are up, buddy.
So yeah, I don't have much left to go over here. I just wanted to quickly touch on a couple different things and how to set up a couple prompts to make things easier for you guys. I just wanted to show you how this image was able to turn out, going from this one, and I said make it more navy gold, simple, minimalistic, to this one as well. And so just to show you the power, how you can have multiple images created super quickly for you to be able to use across all of your posts that you guys have. You could even turn this into create me a social media graphic to post on IG story. And then it will also create this as well. And so that's kind of nice. It's just, it always puts out text and I get so annoyed and I'm just like, create me the image. And so we'll just do that, but see if it'll create that. Otherwise, a lot of this stuff is we're able to teach you guys within group coaching specifically because we want you guys really to focus on consistency and making sure that you guys have a solid plan going ahead of time, but also making sure that, again, kind of what Janki covered, making sure our follow-up is where most agents lose momentum. And so we want to make sure that you guys have that by able to create these smart plans as well through GPT, through Gemini, any of those. At least now you have a clean, automated, personalized touch and multiple touches, whether it be text, email, phone. So that way you're not always manually chasing every lead as well. But like I said, in group coaching, we'll show you just not how to write them, but how to actually automate and personalize them as well. So it does feel like more real communication and not just a robot. And so not sure if this is going to be able to finish this image in time. Sometimes it takes probably about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute to be able to build it. But we'll check in. I'll share this with you guys if it does pop back up later. I did want to check in on the chat, though, see if you guys had any other questions. And if I can help you guys out with anything. I am going to stop sharing for now. But hopefully today's conversation was really helpful for you guys. What's a really strong thing that happens in group coaching is we focus on making sure that not only do you guys just know how to do something, but actually how to do it and in the right way and how we've tested out along the way of what works and what doesn't work. So that way you guys don't have to as well. Yes, I can share those prompts. I'm just going to paste them right into the chat right here. So you guys can take those. I actually put the PDF too, but then I send it to just the hosts and panelists. So let me drop that in there as well for you guys. because that breakdown is really helpful to understand. Like, I think some of the issues that some people have when they can't get the images right is that they're on the wrong mode. And so that's going to be helpful for you guys to be able to see that. And then I'll drop in here the other prompt that I went over. And this one that I'm dropping in here now, there's the brackets. You can change those brackets up however you want. You could remove that entire first section and then just have the secondary section as well. And then the last one that I didn't necessarily go over, but one that I really, really like is this one. This one is want you to research for me and act as an expert IG social media marketer. You could change it up to be whatever you're specifically looking for. But the main thing is to focus on that 10 frustrations, 10 desires, and 10 fears that whoever you're working with, your clients, your prospects, whatever those are, and then it puts it on a format. But then what you can do from that, that's 30 different topics to then cover throughout the rest of the month, one a day if you wanted to. It's all about creating content, and Tristan is building content nonstop. So if you guys want to be able to be like Tristan, you got to be able to get onto video, test out some, just walk around and try it out. Even if you fail in the first 10 videos, at least be able to say that you did it and be able to move on and do the next one as well. And so let me just follow up with the chat real quick. I want to make sure there wasn't any questions here that I missed. I know that Tristan was responding to them a lot. Someone asked about examples of seller and buyer guides. We do within group coaching for sure. So that's $99 a month right now. It's a limited time special that we have running. That covers, I want to say, probably about 20 different courses a month, or not courses, 20 different webinar sessions a month. And that ranges from motivation to presentations to how you should wake up and prepare for the day, how you should go to the night so you can prepare for tomorrow. We have scripting, dialogue. We have prospecting calls, like live prospecting you can hear in, and multiple more as well. We also have some AI. We have social media. We have CRM. We pretty much cover it all for you guys as a real estate agent. And so that's $99 a month. It is no contract on there, I believe. Asusena, correct me if I'm wrong. If it is, it's probably 1 or 2 months at most. And then the other thing is it's all recorded, and every recorded session we've already done, you can still go back and rewatch. And so that's kind of nice as well. There's a mobile app that allows for you to do a little bit more podcast style on the go if you need to. So definitely check it out. No contract, $99 a month. You get access to Tristan all the time. You get to join a Facebook Messenger group as well that has the collective group coaching environment. And then you guys can ask different questions amongst your peers. And then we have like a white label document that goes out every month. A bunch of stuff that's included here, all for $99 a month. Usually it's $479. So definitely take advantage. Take a look. There's the link in there. If you have any questions for myself, my email is trenton@tristanandassociates.com. Definitely spelled that wrong because it's tough when you have Tristan and it usually mess up with one of the A's and the N's that are going with that. Have any questions for Tristan? Definitely reach out. Let us know. We have a question. Do you help building a website? Yes, we do. So not only do we have the group coaching, we also have the agency. Our agency is fully equipped to help out with building websites, whether it be on Lofty, whether it be on Agent Fire, whether it be on something else. Yes, it is Tristan, Trenton and Tristan Associates. I'll put it one more time. So we have a full agency, so we can do a full social media branding for you. You want us to run your social media, we can do that. We do lead generation, like Tristan mentioned. And then we also have CRM setups that we do. We can do smart plans customized for you as well. It's a full-blown agency for the real estate agent. So let us know if you have any questions. Definitely reach out to us at brillianttribe.com, or my email's in here as well. ASO, and I already spelled it wrong again because it's ASSOCI associate. All right. Well, and no other questions in here. Like I said, you got any, let me know. Thanks for all for joining and sticking with us at this long of a time. And thanks to Janki, thanks to Tristan as well. And hope you guys all have a great rest of the week. And see you guys next time. Thank you.